because I'd like to invite Nuala. There you are, Nuala Morgan, and to be specific, you're the communication and national contact coordinator for Interreg, right?
That's right. It's a bit of a long title, but basically, I'm in charge of the communication and contact points
In the countries.
with a team of 4 people in the secretariat.
Exactly. And we want to use these last 5, 7, 8 minutes
Yeah.
that we have last with you to actually talk a little bit about what else is there. Because obviously we're talking to an audience who's fit for purpose to interact with us online. And we heard some things. We heard about live Q&As. We heard about community platforms. Enlighten us a bit. Where can people find more information?
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to help our online audience find the tools that we have for them. We've made a big effort for this program, and particularly for this call, to do a lot more of online assistance so that we can reach out as much as possible to as many participants and many potential partners as possible. So we'll be also asking them for feedback. Was it useful for them in the end? So one thing that Nicola has just mentioned, very useful tool that we've just put in place is our weekly Q&As.
Yeah, every Friday morning?
10 to 11.
And
Central European time.
Yeah, exactly. Central European time. What does that look like? What happens in those live Q&As?
So basically, it's a studio setup similar to here. We have 2 of our colleagues, 2 or 3 of our colleagues. You can register already on our website through it's our webinar tool.
Register? Is it free?
It's free,
Okay,
of course,
good,
always
good,
free.
good, yeah.
But we just like to know who will be there, and you can already ask your questions, so we compare a little bit also our answers. But you join the webinar online on Friday mornings. You can also join on the spot, and you ask your question on the spot. So we'll treat the questions that we received during that week, and we'll open the floor for questions from the audience. So it's a web chat. You can see us. You can speak to us if you have the possibility. So it's very.
And I can imagine that's useful even if I don't have a specific question. I might be triggered by the questions that other people
I mean,
ask.
we have so many specific questions, but that pop up, I guess, quite regularly. We do have an FAQ, frequently asked questions, on our website, but this is a much easier, much quicker way of seeing, okay, am I on the right track? What about this? I'm really not sure what this means. Is there someone else can help me?
Very direct
just
and live
listening to
contact.
the answers is already useful, yeah.
Now, another thing I'm curious about, and I've been making this call to action a few times, please register for the Interreg Europe online platform. And we saw a growth in the last 6-8 weeks from like 3,800, which you will still see in the yearbook video that we played at the start of the broadcast and that we will play at the end of this broadcast, to over 6,000 members in this Interreg community platform. Tell a little bit, what's going on there? Why should people sign up to that?
Yeah, well, the community, I mean, it's where we're trying to gather everyone around this Interreg Europe community. So it's our online community, but it's also the physical community. So we want to make this really smooth transition between cooperating, sharing, exchanging, both in person and online. So in our community, you can register your interests. Well, you have your profile.
Yeah,
what am I
make a little
interested
profile.
in?
It's very easy, right?
Exactly.
Email address, name. And
initially, we ask you for your email address and your name, and then you can fill in whatever you're comfortable with. So your thematic interests, the 4 main topics that we've talked about today. If you're interested in joining a project, maybe you don't want to lead it yourself, but you want to join one. You're interested in getting feedback for your project idea. You're interested in networking and seeing what's going to happen with the policy platform services that we talked about. So this is already, you can set up your profile. Yeah, then you can ask us to help with finding partners for your project.
You can help you to ask, because what I was going to say, I browsed a little bit around the platform. What I really love is this like super easy filter that you either can search on project based on region, countries, status, team, whatever. You can do the same for people, but now I can also get in touch with you guys through that same platform.
Exactly. It's so you can publish your project idea. That's the first step when you're looking for partners. And as you say, it's all part of this integrated search. So you can search for people, you can search for ideas, you can search for events. Linked to that theme, and they'll all come up in this search. So you publish your idea at whatever stage it's at. At the moment, don't worry about sending it to us. You say, I'm looking for partners from, I absolutely need a partner from the north of Europe. Okay, get involved. And this you can update as it goes along, and community members can follow your project idea, and then they see when it's updated, and they'll have it on their dashboard so that they have a reminder of the things that they're interested in. And then when it gets to the stage where you have a more mature project idea, you're a bit developed, and you want to get our feedback, then that's when you can activate the request feedback from the secretariat. So
And
there's a
that's when you
button
guys
on your
look at- That's what
dashboard
I just talked about with Nicholas.
that you just talked
exactly.
about with Nicola.
And the
yeah.
funny thing is, I was talking to Jane Holmgaard, who were in the studio earlier. We didn't talk about it on camera, but she received like over 30 contact requests purely based on the fact that her project was listed there, right? So this thing is actually happening.
Yeah. So I mean, it was just put in place just after the first call. So this is the first time that it's being used to its full potential. So we're hoping that the users get a lot of requests from this. We can see that there's a lot of activity already going on.
All right. Third thing I want to talk about, obviously, in about 10 minutes, you guys have to leave us here in Rotterdam, but these guys go on tomorrow into lead applicant workshops, and there will be a lot of knowledge transferred. But Interreg Europe has thought about that as well, right? Because even those guys can get into that content.
That's right. Even for those of you who can't be here tomorrow.
Starting to become tell-sell, but okay, there's more, yeah.
There's
All right,
more.
yeah. What else
You're
is
not
there?
completely left out of the whole show. So tomorrow, there will be live lead applicant workshops. So these are specific workshops for these partners who are really almost ready to submit for the second call that opens 5th of April. But we have prepared already for our online participants the videos of the presentations that will be shown there tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so these are ready to go on our website.
Yeah.
We've loaded them up.
I think we can even now publish a link in the bottom of the screen where you can see where you can find these videos.
I
so
think
make sure you make a screenshot or you capture that.
Exactly. On our project development section on our website, you can find them there. And they'll also be linked on the event agenda tomorrow. So these cover the main aspects of practically building an application, the project methodology, management and finance and budget issues. There's also a special one on communication, which I'd like to highlight specifically because we don't have a live workshop tomorrow on communication strategy within the projects. It's only the webinar.
And this is about how you set up the communication in your project when it's approved, but you should think about that in the application phase, right?
We identify what's important to think about at the application phase and what needs to go in the application form. So
and I can say there's a lot of practical stuff in there because I saw it when it was recorded. Yeah.
So the videos themselves, they're available to watch. But the most interesting, I think, part of that, rather than just watching a video, is to be able to have your questions answered, just like today. So we will be running this content of those 5 how-to videos as webinars. So the week of 12th of April.
Okay. Mark your calendar, 12th of April. It's more than a month before the closing date, right?
So again, all the details are on the event section of our website. You can already register there. There's one topic per day. So you can subscribe to them all. You can pick the ones that you think are most useful at that point for you. And you can follow the webinar. So the presentations plus discussion question and answers that week of the 12th of April.
All right. Good. I think this is very complete. I think if you're watching this in recording, you can like pause and play back a bit to listen exactly all the stuff that's there. Nuala, thank you very much. Thank you for setting up, because people should know you were also in charge of the plenary program on stage. Great job. Thank you very much.